Hi everyone, I'm Hales and welcome to a Friday Sews episode, which is a weekly sewing catch up of what I've been sewing, my frustrations, my plans, life, that kind of thing. I'll start off with showing that I'm actually wearing a muslin for the Sew Over It Ultimate culottes. I haven't put the waistband on and I haven't put a zip in, so I have just pinned them down at the side here. Now I've had lots of problems in the past making trousers, and I'm going to put because they're more than this, some of the muslins that I've made over the last, I don't know how many years, 3-4 years perhaps, 3 years of trying to make trousers, ranging from the Sew Over It Ultimate trousers, there's a Birder pattern, there's a terrible Deer and Doe pattern, Sure Fit Designs kit, there's like a Tazuti pattern which I've made. I think I must have tried about 10 different trouser patterns, some where they are fully elasticated waist, some with elastic, the True Bias Emerson pants, which are just elastic at the back with flat front, all manner of things. So these are the ones that I'm currently working on, and they are the culottes. So I thought, my issues have been, and I don't know if anyone else is the same, that I have issues with fitting them at the back because I have a tummy and I have a bottom, so no pattern fits me straight out of the packet. So I do get a lot of excess under my bum. Now that could be either a full seat adjustment or a low seat adjustment or any manner of adjustments. And also I'm 5'3", so most pattern companies do not design and draft for 5'3", and I did a quick Google on Sew Over It because I've made these culottes like just to see what kind of size they come out as, and I had a quick Google and I found something on a forum somewhere saying that they think they draft for 5'7". So as I'm 5'3", these have come out at a really silly length on me. I'll put fitted in because the room I'm filming in is not wide enough to get that full angle shot for the bottom, but basically they come right down to my ankle, and I think they're supposed to be mid-calf, so I don't get the full effect. I haven't hemmed these and I haven't made any adjustments because I wanted to see what they would look like without adjusting them at all, and then go from there. Now they fit really nicely and around the waist, around the back. They sit quite flat against the back because they have two front darts? Oh, I can't remember now. I think they have 2 front darts and 4 back darts. I can't remember now. All I've done is basted these seams together. The fabric I've used is a polycotton, I think £1 a metre from Pound Fabrics, and it was purely used because whenever I tried to make swirls in like a duvet cover, the pattern of the duvet cover kind of plays tricks. So you can't truly see how they sort of hang, and when I try to photograph black trousers, the sort of exposure comes out and you can't see any lines. But actually these do just hang straight down, so I don't have the issues because obviously they're not fitted, and it's one of the reasons why I wanted to try this. They feel a little nicer. I mean, the legs are huge and some people probably hate culottes, and these don't have pockets, which is slightly annoying, but I think I can get over that. But I'm not sure about the front crotch because when I sort of walk in them, it feels like the trousers sitting too low down on the crotch, and I'm sort of catching the material, it's sort of pulling. So previously I have taken an inch out of the front crotch, out of the rise of trousers when I tried to make them, and so I don't know if that's what I need to do this time, whether that's going to like throw everything off balance. But there's just slitting slightly too low at the front there. If you have made this and this is quite specific, but if you've made these or anything similar but you are 5'3", so you are what they would call a petite sewist, put a comment down below and let me know what fitting adjustments you have to make if you're making trousers or pants or shorts or that kind of thing. Because I didn't realise I was particularly that short. I mean, I know that I spent years going into shops and looking for trousers and just having to buy the short length, or sometimes the shop would have a petite range but then they're a bit too short for me, so I thought I was average. But then why couldn't I ever get anything to fit properly? And then now when I sew I realise, oh, I am actually classed as a petite sewist because I'm 5'3", and I think up to 5'3" is petite. and the proportions are usually really strange on trousers, so a lot of patterns do not mark on the pattern where the knee is and like where the short and lengthening lines are and where they should meet, so if you end up with like a really long thigh or really long shins or something like that, you have to shorten at certain places. With these culottes though, because they're so wide and they just go fully down, they don't have any shortening or lengthening lines because there's no particular shape to them. There's shaping at the top through the darts, so these will just be chopped and hemmed, and hopefully I can get these, sorry itchy nose, hopefully I can get these out of less fabric, because I think it said 2.5 meters, so I'm hoping that I can get them, I think 2.5, or might have even been more than 2.5 meters, just because of how wide they are. You can't necessarily get them side by side. I graded between a 16-18, so I'd say I cut out a 17. I had the pattern printed and I had it done at Fabuloso, and I only printed out the one I needed, so that was the version, version 1 with the waistband, and it prints it on like a tissue paper, so it folds up really nicely and it doesn't take up lots of room in my drawer. And so now I'm trying to fold this without making loads of noise, but I just wanted to show you how small, oh I can't get the fold lines now, I just wanted to show you how small it folds up to, because normally, okay, folding in mid-air is not a good idea, so I'm gonna, let me show you another pattern, maybe I should, oh hang on, I'm gonna cut this bit, sorry. So this cloth pattern, that, because I only printed what it absolutely needed and I didn't print the instructions, that's how little space it takes up. Now I normally print at home on A4s, it's quite stiff paper and it's really bulky, and I have these big brown envelopes which are all ripped and bursting at the seams because I can't store, you know, I'm running out of room. But I did get 3 patterns printed. 2 of them were from the Sew Over It ebook Worked Weekend, because I bought it when it was on sale, and so I got a skirt printed, which is actually a dress, but I just looked which pages had the skirt on, so I printed the skirt, and there was a knit boat neck top, so I had 3 patterns printed, and they just don't take up much room at all. Anyway, I digress. So these are the culottes. They are high-waisted, and there is a waistband to put on, which I have cut out, but I just haven't attached. So when that's on, that will sit a bit higher up. I mean, I don't know if it makes me all belly, that's probably just the way I'm particularly feeling after tea tonight, but I do quite like them. I know some people probably hate culottes, but I think that they are a happy medium. It's a way of getting trousers into my wardrobe, but I still want to get, you know, slimmer trousers into my wardrobe. But that is the first pair that I've been making, and the second pair I would show you, but it's out of the calico fabric. So I have got this, which is a rolled up tracing paper, and I have worked out a trouser block for my husband because I'm making a cosplay for him where I need trousers and a jacket. The trousers are kind of like cargo style trousers, but they do have a strange seam which goes mid thigh, so it goes like up, down, and then no, it goes like from the pocket or something. It's like diagonal and then down the center of the thigh, and then at the back there's a weird top stitching sort of seam. So what I've been working on is trousers, and then once I've got them to fit him, and I need to draft a waistband for him, and then we know where we're at. I ended up doing, oh, I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago, where the side, so the front and the back, there was a big step between the back and the front, so I realised I needed to do a full seat adjustment. So I got rid of that muslin, did a 2-inch full seat adjustment, so then the side seams met at the front and the back. Once I've got that all fully to fit him, then I have to cut them and add seam allowance to put top stitching in. So I have got the fit down quite well. He's actually at work tonight, so I can't get a picture with him even like in them kind of thing, but I need to like recut them and then put the waistband on, got the fit, and then I need to mark out lines, and then I need to work on the top for him. But as he's currently losing weight, I said I would leave it for a month, but I don't know, I'll see how it goes, because we're on half term next week with the schools, so I'm not at work all week. So people have been saying, oh, you know, have you got any plans? And I'm thinking, yeah, I've got plans. It's called sewing machine, but I have actually booked the kids in and myself to go to the cinema next Tuesday. We haven't been for, I don't think we even went at the beginning of 2020, so it's been a long time, and you know, those kids haven't been hardly anywhere because of the lockdowns, and then I just didn't want to go places just to be on the safe side. So we've got a local cinema which has just been rebuilt basically, and it's gone from 1 screen to 3 screens, and it didn't even have cup holders on the seats. It was a real like old-fashioned cinema, and so they've done a big upgrade, so the kids are like really excited to go. So we're going to go see Peter Rabbit 2, which I thought my kids were a bit old for, but they said no. I think they just literally want to go somewhere and eat popcorn and have a day out because they haven't been anywhere. So that's my one thing, and then I'm hoping to like bash out a lot of sewing next week and just catch up on projects. I've been thinking about what kind of wardrobe I want for summer, because we've had a rubbish May. I don't know where you are in the world, what kind of weather you've had. I'm a typical Brit talking about the weather, I know. But we've had so much rain this month and it's been cold. And a year ago in Me Made May, I looked back on my Instagram feed and I was wearing summer dresses in the garden. This time around, I mean, it's actually been a bit warmer, but I have worn a cardigan all day at work today. And yesterday I came home from work and put a big jumper on. I have been getting a lot of use out of my raincoat, my I Am Jack's raincoat. That's a good Me Made May item that I've been wearing because it's been so wet, but apparently the weather is about to turn and it's going to warm up, and hopefully for next week it's going to warm up, which makes me think about summer and what kind of wardrobe I want to have, because I'm always behind. So I don't know if you're the same as me, but do you actually sew a season ahead? Because I always get to the end of the season and think I should really have been prepared for this because it will be like really hot, and then I'll think I've got nothing to wear. Whereas if I make something before it gets really hot, then I've got something to wear. But I have been thinking a lot about patterns and plains. So obviously this is the pattern top but with the plain bottom, and I don't often make things in a plain, and I actually really like that look. And I've seen some people on Instagram like throughout this month as well, where they have been in sort of like a plain top and a plain like bottom half as well, whether it's a skirt or trousers or something. And actually looks quite nice, and it shows off the style lines of a design. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do like having a pattern fabric to disguise certain things. You've got something tricky, or the fit isn't completely perfect. Pattern is really good for disguising things, but I also find it's quite hard to coordinate with different things and then matching things up. Whereas if it's a whole block plain colour, I find it's easier to actually match in. You'll notice from what's on my face that I've got my new glasses, and that's another reason that I haven't bought any fabric this month, because these are very expensive. They're just so expensive. Also, I will get my money's worth because I had the last pair for 6 years, but you know, they keep falling down. I have been back twice to get them tightened and fitted, but I am finding that I'm fiddling about with them. So I'm sorry if I have been fiddling and fidgeting with them in this video. Obviously you can tell that I've had my hair chopped off, if you've seen that from thumbnails and things on my previous videos, that my hair was quite long. I hadn't had it cut for nearly 2 years and it was in a bit of a state. But last year, my husband works like unpredictable hours, so sometimes he would work a late shift or he'd work a weekend, and I used to go to a walk-in hairdresser, but we had to make appointments, and then I didn't want to put my parents at risk by asking them to babysit the kids, so I didn't have it cut last year, and that was the reason why. But time had come, so I'm going to try and change the colour of the hair, but the hairdresser couldn't change it because I'd used so much box dye in a dark colour, it wouldn't take the hair dye. So I will need to lighten up the greys, I think, with a brown, a lighter brown, and then eventually that will grow through. But I thought I'd just go for the chop. I'm still finding it's, you know, I've still got messy hair. I think, let's face it, I'm always going to have messy hair no matter what the length is, but it's not as damaged. So hopefully it looks okay, but hey, it's easy enough just to like switch my hair, maybe stick a clip in, and I'm good to go. But I would like to be more presentable in my clothes and not feel so sloppy, because I found that a lot of the clothes I wear are like baggy, loose, and not very tailored. So I don't want nothing too skin tight, but I would like to look a bit more put together. So if you've kept watching this far, thank you. Here is my playlist for trouser making, and don't forget to keep an eye on my Instagram feed for any updates of how I get on with these clots, and I will see you over there.